violent, misogynist men. In the black community in particular, it's never really talked about as much or not enough, but there are violent misogynist men, plenty of them. And it's not just in the black community, but we're going to focus on the black community and the males that are posting all of the videos on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the social websites that you can think of, posting hate, self-hate rants about black females. They were born of a black female. They have black females in their family, but they post the most hateful comments and stereotypes, feeding the masses, those who are racist, those who don't really know or don't associate themselves with the black community, hear these videos, see these posts, children see these posts, and they believe nothing but lies, not really knowing underneath these hateful men comes a backstory. They post hatred of women on social media and they join male hate groups. And so they spend numbers of hours online posting the most hateful comments, posting the most degrading pictures, using music, using the Bible, using friends that will post hateful rants online about black women, belittling their character. So why is this? They attack women's character, belittle, make fun of women who reject them. They post sexist jokes of women online. And most of these men, they may even have a girlfriend who's black, or maybe they had a few bad experiences. Maybe they were rejected. Maybe they grew up in a home with generational abuse, where they've watched their uncles or their cousins or their fathers abuse black females and post hate through taunting women. Maybe they don't post hate on social media, but maybe they go around the neighborhood. They hate to see women succeed in male-dominated roles, so they talk about them. They feel threatened if they see women succeeding and progressing. So they say women need to be in a woman's place and men need to be in the man's place, controlling the woman. And so recently we had Hillary running for president, but some people couldn't stand it. More than some people, most of them misogynistic white males. They become violent and physically abusive to women. These men have no respect whatsoever for any woman of any race whatsoever. And the type of man this is, he'll hit, slap, break arms, jaws, legs, even rape his own wife or girlfriend, maybe his own daughter. He has no respect for females whatsoever. In some foreign countries, there are black males who still believe it is okay to punish women punitively by force, even if it means breaking her arms, hitting her. I have personally seen women who have been attacked while they were pregnant, women who have even been threatened, who have had jaws broken, arms, legs broken. He enjoys exploiting women for his own financial gain, and this man has no remorse for any woman, and he will even put her on the street for prostitution. So in some of the rap lyrics that you hear, a majority of rap lyrics, they talk about this, and they talk about it as if it's funny. It doesn't mean anything. Oh, it's just music. But what they don't realize, it degrades many women in many forms, misogynistically. And so we have this huge callousness of males who have no respect for females whatsoever. They even use the Bible to justify why their abuse is to women, that women have a specific role and should be put in specific boxes. She shouldn't be seen and she shouldn't even be heard in some religions. Cover your hair, cover your body, because it makes me want to rape you, me want to sin. So they use the Bible for that purpose, to justify their hate for women. Emotional abuse is to break a woman's spirit into believing she's worth nothing, so he can justify why he abuses her. If a woman believes she's worth nothing, then it's easy for a man to be abusively controlling. And that is what he does. He uses his words, he uses his hate, he uses his physical abuse and his hatred of women to further degrade that woman and break her spirit and break her down as low as possible that he can. So he can pretty much manipulate her every step of the way. If he's got to lie, if he's got to cheat, if he's got to sleep with other women and compare her to other women to make her feel low, he'll do it. If he's got to hit her the one time and then he'll come back and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. And once she accepts him back, he finds it as an open door to abuse her once more. And then the abuse continues to get worse and worse, and it grows until finally he feels that he has full control of this woman because she has no way out. She feels virtually trapped. She's also fell in love with her abuser. Women who are abused do not trust many people, and a woman may give up her friends and family for that abuser, that abusive boyfriend or lover. Women will protect the abuser if they feel confronted about their emotional and physical state of being. So a sister or family member may try to help that woman that they feel near and dear to in their family that has been abused. And they may try to reach out. They may even try to give her numbers or places where she can go to shelters and seek refuge and counseling from her abuser. But if you see any signs of a woman that feels withdrawn, she's off to herself. She may even be trying to hide bruises with makeup. She may use shades to cover her eyes that are battered from fists and from being hit and from being pummeled by her boyfriend or lover or her husband. She may even be so withdrawn that she doesn't even come around her family and her friends, and she'll resist any dates to go on any parties, to go family gatherings and outings because of fear that they will find out she is in an abusive relationship, and they will see the bruises and they will contact authorities and have her lover or boyfriend, her husband, arrested. Black women will tend to stay to themselves and keep a lot of pride, and they feel that they're strong women, which they are. So a lot of times they suck it up and they keep it inside and they don't talk about it. They feel broken on the inside. And you'll find that black men will post words like this online to signify how they feel about black women. And when you see this, and when you see men, rappers, men who are neighborhood guys, men who they are used to generational abuse because they had a father who abused their mother. They had cousins and brothers, friends who abused their lovers and their wives and girlfriends. The emotional abuse is to break a woman's spirit into believing she is worth nothing, so he can justify why he abuses her. If a woman believes she's worth something, then it is easy for that man to be abusive and controlling. And these are tactics that most guys, most men, most predatory men will use. If a woman feels unappreciated and at her lowest, she blames herself for the abuse and not the abuser. She'll even protect her man. If a woman feels depressed, she may even end up doing drugs to forget about her abusive state that she's in. And so, this is easy for the pickings for some male who wants to be a pimp. And so he will use that, breaking her down so he can put her on the street, so he can use her for his financial gain. He can use her for his mind games. He can sleep with her when he wants to. He can abuse her anytime he wants to, say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, sleep with whoever he wants. And he often puts on pedestals other males who have been abused, or they value abusing women as a come up, as financial gain. So men who are abusive usually are attracted to other men who are abusive to get tips on how to treat women. They put on pedestals pimps from the 70s, pimps from even long ago, anything having to do with exploiting women, putting women down, beating women, treating women like they're sluts or they're whores, sleeping with different random women. That is a come up for them. They use this as a tool or a weapon to control women for their own financial gain, for their own gain of self-acceptance. In a black male culture, there are some men that are out there that this for them is the way to be. It is nothing. They've grown callous. They have no respect for women. And some of this can be because they seen their mothers and their sisters and their aunties and all of the women in their family being abused, and they thought this was normal, so they grow up with the same mindset. Sometimes the abuse can be fueled by certain situations they've had with older girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-baby mothers. It could be due to situations of child support. Maybe he owes child support. He blames the woman for the child support issue. She was abandoned. The kids were abandoned by him, but it's her fault, even though it takes two to make a baby. Child support would not be needed if both parents were in agreement. You wouldn't have to have child support. There may be different cases of why child support has to be a source or resource to get money for the children. Women are usually blamed for this reason, and that could also contribute to abuse. It could also even go as far as a restraining order. She may have a restraining order. He could have been an abusive lover, boyfriend, husband, and so she has a restraining order. It could be over money. It could be over a number of issues. You'd never know unless you understand a case-by-case situation. But a lot of this has happened in the black community, and it's always swept under the rug. It's not vocal enough. Until now, we have women who want to be independent, who want to be seen, who want to be heard, who want to make their voices known, that we too experience abuse. Black women's lives matter as well. Just like all lives matter, just like all lives matter, black women's lives matter as well as any other women's lives matter, as any other person's lives matter. And so we've experienced abuse. It could be physical, emotional, it could be mental, it could be a lot of different types of abuse. It could even be as a sex slave or being trapped inside, not given the keys to leave. I witnessed this. I witnessed a woman with her autistic child. She was left alone. She wasn't given the keys to go anywhere. She had to stay in the house and wait for him to come. He was the one that controlled everything. They also have a knack for trying to indoctrinate other races of men to do the same thing, to reverend and feel like this is your worth, this is your lot in life, to control women, to be misogynistic, to be a pimp, a player, a Mac daddy, sugar daddy. These are the terms that are used often in ghetto neighborhoods. He still sleeps with his ex-women's friends, and he's still sleeping with his baby's mother. That could be another issue that is also playing out in these relationships that become volatile. So you're now going to see a clip of a couple of males who also were in the life of someone famous who she experienced abuse. Michelle, a singer from the 80s, 90s, experienced abuse. More from Dr. Dre. Some of it was emotional, some physical, but more emotional from Suge Knight. Suge Knight was with a record company. He was a producer, and you know the story behind him. If you don't, just look up the name Suge Knight. Then there's Dr. Dre. There was more physical abuse while Michelet was with Dr. Dre when they were in a relationship. So these are the two men that she talked about in a movie, a biopic movie of her life and some of the abuses that she went through with the two individuals. So in the black community, women's voices want to be heard. And why did it take so long for her to come out and express her abuse and what she went through? Because we're silenced. We're told, if you tell, we'll kill you. If you tell, we're going to hurt you. If you tell, we'll hurt your family. If you tell, we're going to make fun of you in social media. Just what is happening now. 30% of women are killed and even murdered by their boyfriends or husbands. It's true. And that is probably an older statistic. It's probably grown now since then. These are realities in our community, in other communities as well, I'm sure. But we're tired of being abused. As black females, we need our voices heard, and we're speaking out. We want the abuse to stop on social media and in our lives with our personal spouses. And if it means we have to break away from those abusers, then that's just what we have to do.